Hey, my name is ShawNshawN. I sell art on ShawNshawN.co and screen reads on ShawNshawNacting.com. Today we're going to review Old. So this is a film by M. Night Shyamalar. He's a very famous director who has some interesting films in the past, like The Village. Time is an hour and 48 minutes, so right around the sweet spot of an hour and a half. It's a little longer than I want, but I think for this particular film it's appropriate because you want time to kind of lag at the same time it's actually going really fast, so it has that nice kind of time. The actual playtime is longer than you want, but it kind of makes it's a nice counter reaction to the speeding of time in this special island. So you have Gael Garcia Bernal plays Guy, the father. Vicky Krieps plays Prisca, the mother. Rafus Sewell plays Charles. I think he's one of the sons. Wolff plays Trent. He at 15. There's actually multiple characters playing that. Thomasin McKenzie plays Maddox at 16. There's multiple actresses playing that because there's multiple ages of the children. Lee plays Chrystal, and there's many actors that go with this. So a family is off on a remote island vacation, to get away, and it turns out it's kind of their last vacation together because the parents are splitting, but they haven't told the kids yet, but they're arguing terribly. So obviously the kids know there's something drastically wrong or terrible in the marriage. But the kids don't know yet that they're going to split. So the beach hotel, they have these really nice drinks that come in, and they're like, hey, we got this special idea. It's like, oh, we want to do this and that. And it's like, hey, there's this remote beach you guys want to go to. It's super cool. I totally recommend it. And they're like, all right, sounds cool. So they go. It turns out the couples are going. They wander down to the beach. They drop them off, and it's at this cliff. And then you wander down this canyon, and you pop open to this remote beach. So they go down the canyon, pop at this remote beach, and it's like, oh, this is pretty cool. And they're going swimming, and then all of a sudden something doesn't appear right because they see the kids are growing. And they start seeing their kids grow, and they're like, what the fuck is this? They have to keep changing the clothes of the kids because the kids are literally growing. I think it's like a year and every 10 minutes or something, or some craziness. And obviously the parents that are full grown, you don't notice as quickly, but they're aging as well. It starts to have a really bad impact on the people, obviously, because they start to go a little crazy. Like they realize they have to escape at all costs. They try different methods to escape, and people die trying to escape. So they're like, oh my God, how are we going to get out of here? It's just a terrible place. So that's kind of the crux of the story. So again, it has, analysis-wise, it has its special characteristics of aging in this particular island beach. But the rest of the island is normal aging. So it's kind of really weird that they'd have this particular aging effects. And it just looks like a normal remote cove beach, but it's surrounded by cliffs, so it's very hard to get out. And if you go back through the entrance, which they know how to get back, obviously, everyone that goes back that way just kind of passes out and they wake up on the beach again, so it's kind of weird. And they're like, oh, that's weird. So some guys try to swim out, he drowns, this other girl drowns in the water trying to escape that way, so they can't escape by water. So one of the kids is like, I want to scale up, and they scale up the side of the mountain, they're going to do it, and they're almost at the top, and then they pass out and just fall to their death. So it looks like there's just no way out of this horrible situation. So it's kind of a horror film in a way if you think about it, kind of sci-fi horror film. But yeah, really fun idea, I think. The interesting part too is as they realize the seriousness of the situation, the couples kind of break off, they start fighting each other. You have this disconnect from reality, and they're trying to investigate, why are you here? And they find out each one of them has some kind of medical condition, and they're like, what does that have to do with anything? And actually one of them has to have like a tumor cut out, and one of the kids, they actually have a baby, so that's kind of funny, dude. Like in 10 minutes they have a baby, like, oh, we had a baby. What's this? So that's kind of comical, with having a baby like in 10 minutes. And they finish a way to kind of get rid of that plot line really quick. And yeah, so you're always wondering through the film as the people age, like, how are they going to get off this island? Is someone going to rescue them? They can't call either. There's kind of a phone block. There's no towers in that area, so they can't call anyone. So they're really screwed, right? And then the kids figure out, well, maybe if we swim out, and they kind of find this secret tunnel, then it leads to the third act, which is actually quite long. Normally a third act is pretty quick. Normally you only want a couple minutes, but it turns out to be this long third act. But obviously the first two acts are very, kind of seem long because it's only on a beach, so there's not much to film. And so time passes really slow from the audience standpoint, but it's very fast on their side. So it's kind of an interesting layering there where you have kind of long film play, but then it's shorter for the actual characters. So they escape, and it turns out there's this science experiment, and then, there's a lot of different twists in there. So that's pretty interesting as well. But yeah, so it kind of have a feel a little bit of The Village. The Village had kind of a surprise ending as well. It was interesting because someone online said, like, oh, I didn't see that ending coming. And I was like, oh, it kind of felt like The Village to me. I don't know. It just, if I hadn't seen The Village, I think this would be a stellar movie. So if you've never seen The Village, see this, you're going to be blown away. If you've seen The Village, you might be able to see what I'm talking about in the sense that it has a lot of overlays. The weird thing, too, is you have the director as one of the actors. So Shyamalar plays the van driver, so it's kind of a minor role, but you don't really get the sense that he did such a great job with acting. It's not terrible, but you know, compared to Quentin Tarantino, everyone kind of thinks he's a bad actor, but he's way better than Shyamalar in his own movies. So I think ideally I would have just farmed out this role, or you know, Shyamalar should have done like months and months of acting lessons before he did this, because it doesn't come off weak. It's believable, but it doesn't come off the strongest role. I think you could have just had to hire someone that would have been better. But yeah, it's kind of a fun film. You're going to see it once. I don't think you can really see it twice because it's really just kind of a mystery. So once the mystery's done, it's done. I think other mysteries are more enjoyable, like say Knives Out. I think that's a more watchable mystery where you find the clues and then you don't mind watching that again. But this one, you kind of knows what happens. Same with The Village in a sense. You kind of know what's happening at the end, so you're like, oh, that's cool. But to see it again, you'd be like, all right, you'd see everything kind of coming a little bit. So it's that type of movie where once you see the mystery and it's unraveled, then it's, you know, you can't really put the onion back together once you unravel the onion in this case. But it's a good film, I think. I'd recommend it. It's really fun. I don't know if it's necessarily a cinema film. It doesn't have any great special effects that you need to see like on a big screen. Not super creepy jump scares. There are a little bit here and there, so that might be a little bit add. In the cave, there's a scary scene, but in general, I think it's just an HGTV movie. If you guys want to subscribe, you can subscribe below. And I'll see you in the next movie review. Thanks for watching, guys.